All right. So we're out here today. I'm gonna go out and do a little cut this afternoon. A couple videos ago, I hit a chain that was wrapped around a tree. Chainsaw's pretty dull. Didn't screw it up too much. None of the teeth are like chipped. They're all just dull. You can feel them. But I'm gonna talk about so far the easiest way, fastest way I found to sharpen chainsaw chains is this thing right here. It's steel. They call it a 3-in-1. It's got 2 round files in it, one on each side, and a flat file. So basically what it does is it files your tooth, your gullet, all that stuff, and they're referred to as depth gauges. Some people call them rakers, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. But it files them all at the same time, so you don't have to do every tooth and then come back and do every raker individually. Just one shot. Pretty fast little gadget. It's got little marks on it. I don't know if you can see here. I'll try to get it in the video, but there's little marks on here at your angle, 30 degrees, which is what most people are running. Some guys might do steeper, a little more aggressive cut, but the average person, that's what they're going to run at, probably somewhere between 25 and 30 degrees of a pitch on it. Well, I shouldn't say pitch, but the angle of the tooth. This thing's got arrows on it, so it basically tells you which way you're pulling. Same thing on the other side. It's kind of idiot proof, really, but pretty nice little setup. I gotta find my somewhere on here is the green. There's a green link on here somewhere. If I can find it. Some people take a marker, like a Sharpie, and mark the top of the tooth that they start with. Oh, right there, green. I don't know, I'm assuming that all steel chains are like that, but it's got a green link on it. But as you do it, I mean, once you come around, you'll be able to see the tooth that you sharpened. But the way this thing works, it tells you which way you're pulling. The tooth sits in that. I got it wrong this way. Yep. You want to be this way, my bad. I'm sorry, I'm looking at it backwards. You got your angle on it. So the round file sits in the gullet, and then the flat file sits on top of your raker. So it does them all in one shot. It's a pretty nifty little tool, really. Same thing on each side. Couple strokes. And you can see your tooth in there. And you can feel the difference. Now I use, I believe it's called a semi-chisel. Basically where the tip doesn't come all the way to the edge of the blade. I do plan on eventually switching to a full chisel. At least try it out. I've never used one. I hear they cut faster, but they dull quicker. So it's kind of a catch-22, depending on what you're doing. I would really like to, once this chain gets really wore out, I'm going to try it. I would like to square file, at least try it out. Oh, you can feel the difference. A lot of guys are going to be like, you know, if you're not doing it by hand, you're not doing it right, blah, 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 whatever. But want to make sure you're level across when you file. To that, lost it, but well, this one got pretty jacked up on that, but 4 or 5 passes, we'll straighten this chain back up. And like I say, you can see the tooth in there while you're filing, so you can, you can watch the tooth get sharp as you're filing it. But and when I pull back, you don't have to lift it out. You can slide it, but slide it forward as you slide it back. That way you're not trying to go backwards. Files are designed to file one direction. And like I say, it'll do your tooth and your depth gauge, your raker, all at the same time. I'm sure that there are better ways out there, and I have filed straight by hand before, and it works, pretty well. I will say this is just faster. Does the whole thing all in one shot. You can feel it's like sticky. Like, you ever pet like a little kitten? How tacky and sharp their claws are. I can see filing these that it jacked that tip up. They're not straight. They're definitely not at 30 degrees anymore. It took that tip off, but like a little kitten, how tacky and sharp their little claws are. That's how a chainsaw tooth should be. You can feel the difference. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Let's say a couple quick passes. Steel makes some good files too. I think they're definitely one of the better files. You can get some good German files. They're pretty expensive. The steels, like the round file, you can get. I think a 3-pack is like 10 or 11 bucks. They're definitely. You can get more expensive files, but for the average homeowner, small business, small firewood processing, stuff like that. They're definitely, I think, the best bang for your buck. Yeah, you can, like I say, if I was doing this by hand, which I did for a long time, I should turn my bar over too while I'm thinking about it, but I probably won't do it today. Like I say, for the average homeowner, weekend warrior, I guess you want to call it that. It's probably what I'd call myself, weekend warrior. I do this, like I say, on the side, not full time. I would say this is the easiest, fastest way to sharpen a chain. Some of the grinding machines I've seen do a pretty good job. But you got to take your chainsaw apart, take the chain off, which, doesn't take a whole lot of time. You got to set it up, which, like I say, doesn't take a whole lot of time, but this I can just clamp in a vise. If you have one of them, I don't know what you call them, like a bush vise or whatever, where you just pound it into a stump. and sharpen it that way. You know, this is quick, easy. Until I find a better way. This is oh no, that's my first one because I can see that this one, the gullet, isn't done. There she is. And then we'll flip it over and we'll do the other direction. Like I say, I've seen videos on square filing. It looks like it's the geometry of it just seems like it'd make a better cut. It makes more sense. Like I say, I've never done it before. I've never been taught how to do it. I've watched a video on what's his name, Buck and Billy Ray, where he square files. And it definitely looks like something I'd like to learn, but I'm not going to do it on a good chain. I'd like to get a chain where it's, you know, 3/4 of the way gone. That way if I do mess it up, I didn't just destroy a brand new chain. And then once I learn to do it, then it'll be one of the things where, you know, once that first chain goes dull, this will clean up. I mean, like I say, I've hit a chain before. One time I found a brick inside a tree, and that cleaned it up pretty nice. Like I say, I'm sure there are people be like, you know, that's the amateur's way of doing it, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? It works pretty well. Amateur way or not, I don't care. I like to feel them when I'm done just to make sure they're that sticky kind of sharp where you can just touching it, you can feel it grab a hold of your skin. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Yep. That's how I like it. Like I said, there's better ways of doing it, I am sure, but the steel 3-in-1 really does do a good job. I waited quite a while to get one, and then finally one day I was at a steel dealer, and I'm like, you know what, we're gonna try it. And you say, I'll straighten them teeth right out. especially if you've never filed a chainsaw chain before, like ever. This will really take the guesswork out of it. I know the first time I filed one, it's like, well, I mean, I understand the concept of it, but never done it before, and it took me a little while to actually figure out how to do it. Yep, there it is. And then I'll just put this back in the case and slide it back in my workbench. And then she's done. That's all she wrote. That's it. I mean, you know, 15 minutes. I don't know if she'll focus or not, but when you run your finger across the top of it, you can just feel it catch you. Well, I don't know if it's going to focus or not, but see the gullet? I know when I used to hand file, I would put more of a gullet in it than that, but it is what it is. Like I say, they cut really nice right afterwards. So that's how I do that. And like I say, we're 15 minutes start to finish, and I talked for a little bit, so like I say, that's how I sharpen mine. As of right now, I've evolved a little bit over the years, but that's how I do mine. That's how I'm going to keep doing it for right now. So you got a better way, you know, send me a link to a video, something like that, and let me know what you guys do, or teach me a better way of doing it. Like I say, I'm no professional. I'm learning on my own. There's nobody teaching me this stuff, giving me pointers. I watch videos, kind of learn from there, try my own techniques, use them, learn them, try somebody else's technique. That one works better. Stick with that for a while until I find something better. But yeah, we're gonna go out and cut a little wood. You guys keep living that best life.